Hello, everybody. This is going to be the video just highlighting what to expect out of Wind Ensemble Symphonic Band, jazz, and both the jazz bands. So let's just go to a Google Classroom page because I think that you're going to find a lot of materials here. Parents, if you're watching this, have your kids access this with you. I believe you could request access to, I guess, assignment reminders and things like that. I don't think you get full access to the classroom though. So anyway, you get to the classroom. I like to go to the classwork tab to see what I have in store for you there. We have our Google Drive, which contains all of the fun stuff, including warm-ups, all of the pieces, other handouts, and even some things I haven't even handed out yet. So this is your one-stop shop for all that fun stuff. Okay. Occasionally, things will just be posted right on the drive, but I will really try hard to make sure I put things in the classroom folder. This is new for me though, so if you feel like it should be included in that classroom folder, let me know. Okay. Otherwise, we have our daily links. Here's where your Zoom link is. So if someone is tested or if someone is currently at risk in your household, I'm sorry, not well, yeah, that works. But also if someone has symptoms of something and you have to stay at home for a couple days, that's totally fine. Just click on the Zoom link and make sure you tell the attendance office as well. But that Zoom link will take you right to the Zoom in our class. Okay, so you don't need to try to track down the link from an email. We also have our online tuner and metronome. When we get into Zoom lessons, or I guess Google Classroom lessons, you're going to need this metronome quite a bit because normally I can keep time for you in class, but if we're not doing it at the same time, if you're recording it for me and I'm giving you feedback later, I'm going to want you to keep your own time in a certain regard. DocHub is huge. I love DocHub so much. It's a website. It's ran through Google. It's ran in conjunction with Google. You log into it, and then all of a sudden you are able to write on your piece of music. Okay, and all you have to do is go to the dashboard, and there's an upload button somewhere. New, right there. Okay, and then you can upload from your Google Drive even, which is awesome to me. Okay, so that's where that is. Again, that's DocHub.com. Great site, and for music it is awesome. And then it even saves everything. Like when I just opened that music file, it had the sharps and flats in there. Okay, so let's go here now. Actually, let's go back to our classroom. Okay, we have a Sight Reading Factory, which most of you should be involved in right now. I think there might be one or two students I still need to sign up, but if you're not signed up for that, please make sure you see me. That was done in class a couple days back. Okay. Scale checkoffs. Once we get going, once I have lessons all figured out, which will be probably at the latest by the end of this week, once I have that all figured out, then we'll worry about the scale checks. But your first one will be done in class anyway, so I can make sure you know how to turn them in online if you choose to turn them in online. Okay. But otherwise, scale checks can also be done in conjunction at your lesson. So just like a normal lesson would have at it anyway. Okay. Performances this year will look very they'll probably look different. I mean everything this year looks different though. COVID, is a thing. So what performances are going to look like is they're probably just going to be a recording to start off with. Okay, and around October-ish, maybe even the last week of September, we'll start recording some of our tunes, and so we can get enough takes that we can find a really good take that we can send home in a live stream at one point. The first performance that we're sending home is around October and November. It'll go on YouTube at a certain time, at a certain on a certain day, and then you can watch it live with your family. So that'll be fun. Again, the second I can do in-person performances, we'll get back to that. I think that's a really cool part of any kind of musical ensemble, but it's not bad staying safe, so let's just roll with it. Okay, so that's what our performances will look like. Of course, there's reviews like we do after each performance. We talk about that performance a little bit, so that'll happen around October, November-ish. Syllabus, if you have not looked at these syllabus stuff before, check out this one. Okay, this is the guidelines. Each individual class also was able. I talked about it in person. I didn't hand it out, but I can get you a syllabus if you want for each individual class. But essentially, check this out. I sent this out as an email. This is the policies and PPE guidelines. It's all hyperlinked. I worked relatively hard on this, even though I know some of you just didn't read it, and that's okay. But either way, it's all everything we're doing in class is going to be based off of this NFHS study, um, which is like a collection of high schools in the country, and then we hired scientists for that, and that's the results we got from that is how we arrived at our recommendations. I don't think I have to go over PPE or what we're wearing or what we're doing in class. I guess I'll just skip down to what class will look like. Zoom lessons will be utilized if even in person. So if you get up at 7 o'clock and you look somewhat presentable, feel free to log on to Zoom, do your lesson, opposed from coming in here at 7. But please let me know like a day ahead of time. Okay. Again, you'll get more info on lessons when I'm done making that lesson sheet. Lesson work can also be turned in online through Google. Okay, we'll probably use this app called Flipgrid, which then you can alert me through Google that you've done it. But that's kind of an option. Okay, especially if you are a forgetful person and you have missed your lesson or something like that. You have a couple days to turn it in through Google, at least the stuff that was assigned to you. And of course, I would love you in person. I can see growth in person. And usually because I can see that growth happening, I can be a little more lenient when I figure out grading, for instance. But if you're prepared for your Google Classroom lesson, I have no reason to give you anything lower than an A. So just keep that in mind. I would prefer in-person lessons or Zoom lessons over this Google Classroom upload, but it is what it is. Yeah, we're in a weird time, and I would love to try experimenting with this because some people just get anxiety from having in-person lessons, and maybe this is a good thing for them too. Band instruction will work in a mirrored format. So even if you're in person, you will get a couple things, and we've done this in class the last couple weeks, a couple things that will require you to use a Chromebook. So please have your Chromebooks ready in class, no matter what. Also, if we ever split into groups like sectionals or any other kind of group work, kids will need to access Zoom even if they're online, because I can't be in every room with my computer at all times. So kids will be like the Zoom guide for the virtual students at home. Virtual learning. Virtual learning, I mean, I think you all are understanding how we're doing it a little bit. Basically, these Zoom lessons, I would so prefer you to be in person because I barely see you otherwise, and so that would be great. Okay, if you have to do it through Google Classroom because you forgot that week, great, fine. Okay, but like if you can do it through Zoom, that would be awesome. Okay, virtual band learning is going to be somewhat similar to what we're doing in class. What's expected of you is you have to be playing. Okay, I at a certain point, if I'm away from the podium, I'm not going to check if your video's on at all times. If I'm not by my computer at all, you don't need your video on necessarily, but honestly, at a certain point, I want to see that you're playing. So I'm just going to say right now, just keep your video on at the beginning. If you ever feel like we're getting carried away onto something, or if you feel like you want to practice something on your own and you're doing exactly what we're doing in class, you're just using downtime maybe that we have in class to do something, you can mute your video. But honestly, the rule of thumb is keep your video on just so I know that you're playing and participating in the class. Also, if we're doing discussions, please, I have an earpiece on. Please feel free to like chime in. Like I will explain what you're saying. I'll give you credit for everything you're saying, but I don't want, I guess, virtual to be kind of just a passive experience. I would love it for you guys to all just kind of, really participate as much as you can. Okay, so again, there'll be extra stuff. There'll be extra groups. Again, we're going to be doing something called station learning a little more this year, where it's like sectionals, but maybe one station is just learning the rhythm, which maybe I pre-recorded, or maybe someone in your group has down that they can teach you. That way, there's less downtime, and that way you get less Zoom fatigue. Okay. Conclusion. I like this paragraph. Look, this is brand new to me too. If you are uncomfortable with this, I got to be honest. It's not the most comfortable situation for me either. Okay. But I guess let's just trust each other and let's show a little empathy towards each other. And I think that'll work out very well for us. Okay. I want to keep this under 10 minutes. So I got about 30 seconds left. So, lessons, again, I'll get those out by next week. If you have any questions, just let me know. Email me. I've sent you many emails over the last couple of weeks, so just reply to one of those. You can also give me a phone call. But I don't have my phone number written down right now. So if you have any, look at the bottom of my email signature and you'll see that. Okay, trying to keep this video nice and short. So if you have any questions, let me know. But that should be a little bit of the rundown of this year. Bye.